is Dennis, and my business name is Purpose Purchased, but on Instagram we're known as Purposefully Purchased. Purpose Purchased is a for-profit thrift store, and we receive our donations from the local community. One amazing thing about myself is that I love family, I love friends, and I definitely love fashion. I'm a person that believes in everything old can be made new again. So that's kind of like my vibe. If it's something that people don't want anymore or they think is not a vibe, I'm definitely in on it and trying to make it super dope and so amazing. So if I could say some cool things about me, it's family, friends, and fashion. What definitely sets me apart from other creatives is definitely, I would say, my style and how I put things together. I'm definitely about, like I said, using the community. I'm definitely about, love and making sure that fashion and love kind of go together to me. So definitely set apart because my thrift store is definitely different. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Purpose Purchase. Purpose Purchase is definitely different because most thrift stores are nonprofits. So Purpose Purchase is a for-profit thrift store, and we receive our donations from the local community. The reason why that we can keep our price point the way it is, which you don't know, is $5 and $1. So it doesn't matter what the item is, it's always $5. And then our dollar bins. Most people, when they think of dollar stuff, it's like stuff that you don't want. You're just kind of throwing it away. But I tell people all the time, the dollar bin is full of treasure. Sometimes it makes it in the dollar bin because it's wrinkled and I don't want to steam it. So you could literally pull out a designer shirt, Gucci, Prada, and you're like, it's in a designer bin, in the dollar bin. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't feel like steaming it. So it's yours. So I think the price point is definitely what sets Purpose Purchase apart from most creatives. I love fashion and I love clothing that I don't really put a high standard price point on it. So I would say that was Purposefully Purchased. That was actually going to be my new business where we were going to house houseware. So I love glassware and all types of I love glass. Yeah, trinkets. Yeah, they used to call it knick-knack brick-bracks when you kind of go to the thrift store. So Purpose Purchase was going to be just clothing and accessories. And then Purposefully Purchased was going to be all of the knick-knack brick-bracks, trinkets, as you would say. So that's how I got the name, Purpose Purchase. Purpose Purchase means every purchase has a purpose. The thing behind Purpose Purchase also is financial freedom. I totally believe in, I believe in fashion. You use fashion for retail therapy, but I also believe that you don't have to break the bank. And all the time, it's something that you want, somebody has in their closet. So I consider myself the middleman, that if you say you're looking for something, I'm literally going to try to hunt somebody down to try to get it for you, And if you're running a business, you're spending obviously a lot of money on the things that you need for your business. You don't really have the money to maybe purchase what you used to purchase, Gucci bags, shoes, if you're a Target, hoarder or whatever like that. But somebody somewhere has that for you. So I consider myself that middleman and try to look for it for you so that I can give you financial freedom. So that's one of the reasons why I love my thrift store is that I think financial freedom when people shop there. Like marketing wise, so I consider myself a billboard. Everywhere I go, I'm always dressed. Trying to look different. I always wear things, I say other people's stuff. So you'll always catch me in everything that I have on came from somebody else. I'm happy to wear somebody else's stuff. So I feel like if I go out and I look unique and I have different things, then you'll ask me. You might say, hey, you look nice. Where do you get that from? And then I'll say Purpose Purchase. Social media is definitely great. Instagram is definitely great for me. But I think Purpose Purchase is word of mouth because of the price point. People get excited because someone may see something that they have and they might say, oh, that looks beautiful. And then they're bragging about, oh, yeah, I only got it for $1. I got it for $5. So I think my customers, just my customers bragging on Purpose Purchase has gotten us to where we are now. So word of mouth is big for me. You literally have to check me out. So I think earlier, one of the we were talking about where do I get my donations from. So all of my donations come from the local community. So right now we've got donations not just from the local community, I need to say, and also different states. So I probably own about 55,000 pieces of clothing, accessories, and all types of things, and they are literally donated to us. And what I was saying was some people, to explain like fashion, there's thrifters, there's resellers, there's nonprofit thrift stores like your Goodwill, Salvation Army. So we're a for-profit thrift store, and like I said, we receive our donations from the local community. So everything is given to us. So I promise that because they're donated to us, I will make sure that the price point stays at a fair price point. So as long as my price point is fair, then I believe that people will want to donate. And then also with our profits, we give back to the local community. So it's not anybody else's money that they're giving us. We make sure that we go out into the community and give back. I try to partner with different schools and different nonprofits where we give a lot of our children's clothes away. And the kids can be able to come to the schools and shop and buy things and, still have their dignity and know that their things are super dope and it's a vibe. So that's one of our things. That's really cool. So I was raised in a thrift store by my grandma. So when I was in high school, actually, we all know Joe Mars. Joe Mars back in the day used to have bins of jeans, so Guess jeans. So I'm in the Guess jeans era, dating myself and telling my age. And was nothing wrong with the jeans. They were irregular because of the zipper. So I would literally buy the jeans from Joe Mars. I think they were probably like $1. My grandma showed me how to put a new zipper in. I would put the new zipper in. I would go to school and sell them for $20. So it started in high school, and that was my vibe. And then from there, I just realized, like, I love textiles. I love materials. And I just don't like anything wasted. Like, I feel like we all have something that somebody somewhere right now needs. And that kind of like makes me sentimental when I know that somewhere, some child, some mother is looking for something. And we have it sitting right in our house. So it's kind of like I created this community where you're like, oh, there's a need. Somebody is looking for some Jordans. I got them. You know what I mean? And the fact that they'll be able to buy them for $5, like, I want to give them to you to be able to see that child have them. And not just the child. I tell people I'm my customer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that person that was always had girlfriends that were into fashion, and at the times they could afford to buy those things. But I was that person that was like, when you're finished with it, I'm going to wear it. I'm going to rock it to the next event together. You know what I mean? And then I would get compliments for the outfit that was yours. You know what I mean? But I just knew that you would wear it once. And, we talk about fast fashion. That's the thing. We like to wear it one time and we don't want anybody to see us in it again. Well, not me. If I love it, you're going to see it over and over and over and over again. And I'm super proud, to say that. So that's my spill on fashion.
I love it. Okay. So let's just talk about how long you've been in entrepreneurship from starting hair.
Yes.
Just to start at the beginning.
So I've always been an entrepreneur. Definitely coming from a family where so let's start here. So I'm an orphan. Went to boarding school, but my grandma was definitely my guardian. My grandma to me was an entrepreneur because she was a hustler, but she did all things well. She babysit. My grandma made chair covers. Like, I used to think she was so magical. We would wake up in the morning time and we thought that she was buying new sofas, and come to find out she was sewing new chair covers, and then that's how we were getting these new dope chairs in the morning time. So just kind of being around her inspired me to, love fashion, and that's pretty much how, I got into loving fashion. So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I can honestly say that I'm probably the first one in my family to like really quit the job, go full force, and kind of create a plan for the other creatives in my family. So Like I said, I worked at a job for 20 years. I love my job. It was a small family business. It's where I learned business. It's where I learned entrepreneurship. My owner was super dope. So he gave us like creative play of just like running the store as if it was ours. So I learned how to run a business from being there. Like I said, leaving there after 20 years, I went to hair school first. And I'm one of them people that I believe fashion is the whole product. Obviously, is hair, your nails, your makeup, and what you wear, it all goes together. So hair school was where I went to first. Absolutely loved hair school. It's been, I want to say 14, 15 years now. Graduated from Jean Madeline Aveda Institute. Absolutely loved it. Still do hair till this day. And then from hair, fashion. I'm like, well, if you do hair, you do makeup, you need fashion, you know what I mean? So I went to fashion school, went to the Art Institute and got my fashion degree. And then from there, I started making fanny packs. Had a love for fanny packs, addicted to fanny packs. Obviously, you can see I have 2 bags on today. So usually when I leave the house, I have like 3 on. I had one, I just took off. I love bags. I think bags are super dope. The bags that I make are my signature bags. They're called Latoya bags. They're made in a heart shape, and Latoya means worth the wait. So that's kind of my slogan, to encourage people, to let them know, like, you can create something and just love it, and just know that it's worth the wait for it to happen. So that's my fashion spill. And then during COVID, obviously I couldn't sew and I couldn't do hair. So it was now my time with the place where like I was taking walks and realizing like people were throwing all of this stuff away. So I'm like, well, I'm cleaning out. I know other people are cleaning out. And then I also knew that people needed things. Like we weren't necessarily wanting things, but you were beginning to need things. So first it actually did start with me like kind of being a middleman for like the knick-knack brick breaks. If somebody's toaster broke, I knew that, how to be able to fix them or how to be able to get them the things that they need. Like people was coming to my job when we did reopen with like KitchenAid mixers, and they were like, I don't need it anymore. Somebody who will use it. And I'm like, absolutely. I just had a person that was a baker, broke theirs. So I'm like, yeah. So I would be like the middleman with them. Then I'm like, well, I love fashion. So then I was bored at home, and I just started kind of like getting dressed and trying to put on cute little outfits and stuff like that. And then I'm a nonprofit junkie, so I love to learn. So I joined a nonprofit organization about business, and they kind of were showing me all of these dope business things. And I'm one of those people where I'm like an overachiever. So when we had to do our final finale, of course the teacher was like, we don't want you in your beds. We don't want you with, just look like, you are somewhere. So I actually took my front porch, where if you go on my Instagram page, you'll see the pictures in the background. That's my front porch. And I found all of the materials, the floor and all of that things in the trash, places people didn't want anymore. And I created my content room, which is in the front porch of my house. And when it was time for me to do my presentation, I was standing behind it. And my teachers and them was like, okay, so it's COVID. None of us is out. Where are you at? And I'm like, surprise, I created this to look like I was somewhere instead of looking like I was in my bed. And then from there on, like we all know, when you have a great content room, a great background, it makes you want to create. So then my dress up became like finding something to wear, taking a picture, and then I started posting on Instagram. So then people started asking me, was I selling it? So I'm like, So then I just started selling things. And then my girlfriend, like I said, who's like a brand guru, Stephanie, I actually had kind of talked to her about it. And she just definitely was like, Sadie's, I support you 100%, but I know nothing about thrift. Like, I like to buy my things new. And I'm like, no, like, Steph, everything I wear came from people. Like, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So then I realized that it was an opportunity to bring people into the thrift world, the recycling world, like that whole kind of vibe or whatever. She was just like, yeah, like, I support you, but I don't even know where you're going to get this stuff from. And I'm like, no, like, people are going to give me their stuff. And she's like, Sadie, it's like, people are just going to give you this stuff. I'm like, people are going to give me this stuff. So once I started telling people, they're like, yes, girl, I got a trash bag full of stuff. I got dope stuff. and start bringing me their stuff. I think the surprising thing about Purpose Purchase is that when people come to shop there, they can't believe it's all dope. No one brings me trash. Everything that I have is love. It's something that someone wanted, and they are willing to give it up to make sure that somebody else enjoys it. So that's kind of how Purpose Purchase was started, the thrift store part of it. Yeah. And see, my whole thing is like, I think everybody's aesthetic for their thrifting is like different. I kind of want to be like your Goodwill and your Salvation. So thrift, because people are like, when you come, it's boutique-ish. So you like, well, is this a consignment shop? And I'm like, no, it's thrift. So I want it to be affordable. I want when you pick it up, you're like, do you know what this brand is? You got it as $1. I know. Like, that's the experience that I want everybody to have. Whether you can afford to buy something higher end or not. I just still want that to be a wow factor for everybody. And it does. It wows the people that can afford to buy the name brand stuff and the people that are like, yeah, I don't pay that, that much money for things. And then, like I said, everything is donated, which makes it dope. So that's my thing. Like, I don't ask for anything. People just hear from me from other people. They watch me. They see what I do with it, and most of the time people are like, you really do stay true to your prices being fair. And I just feel like, if people are giving, then that's my give back. Of course, I'm a business. Of course, I need to make money. I get in trouble all the time with my accountant and my friends. Like, I tell people all the time, if my friends were in here pricing, you guys would be in trouble. So you're lucky that God gave me this vision to stay true, to the $5. But my $5 price point does work. I do, do well as a business owner, and definitely in the long run and growing. But I can honestly say that I started Purpose Purchase too for the love and for the community, and just to break that stereotype of being in Philadelphia and being the city of sister and brotherly love, to show people that other people will sow into your business to see you do good, And I tell people all the time, if you come into my store, most of the things that I have were donated, were given to me. People are always asking me, how can I support you? How can I help you? So the help from others is what can help me keep that price point, and then I can still be able to make money. So that's one of my vibes. And it's my promise. I've been asked 1,000 times from my accountant, from my financial advisor, from family, from friends, like, the $5, like, how is that going to work? And it will continue to work as long as people continue to donate and continue to support. And it's just definitely been a blessing. I can honestly say that my store is in a shipping container in West Philly, and I've outgrown it. I definitely need a larger store. So that's one of my things that I'm working on now, but it's a vibe. No. Purpose Purchase. Hype us up.
I be trying to keep it like.
Yeah. So if you know me, I'm all about entrepreneurship. I'm all about supporting and encouraging and empowering. One of my slogans is "Together we win." So I'm one of them people that definitely believe that if I help you, you help me, we'll be amazing together. So I'm always trying to give back. I'm always trying to give information out to other fellow entrepreneurs. I tell people all the time, like I said, we are a for-profit thrift store, but how we give back to our community is through knowledge. And if you ever need anybody, anybody that's in need of anything, you can always come to us. And not just for fashion, but like I said, for resources. I'm really, 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 really big on that. You can ask me anything and I will tell you. It's nothing a secret. Literally, this lady came yesterday and had said outside my store, she was like, her son does the same thing, like kind of like trying to get into like thrifting and things like that. And I was asking her all these questions. She was like, he doesn't have that, he doesn't have that. And I'm like, I know this nonprofit. Oh my God, you should go next week. They're doing a pitch. They'll give him $1,000 if he wins. If not, he can vend for free. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, oh my God, I just told you my son is in the same business as you and you're willing to give up this information. And I'm like, lady, like, we all can win. And I know that Purpose Purchase is different. So I feel like if you have a business, try to make it different And it's not going to be a clash. You know what I mean? We could all be doing similar, same thing, but it's how you give it out to the world, which makes you unique and different. So me giving back to the community, giving back to anyone that is willing to learn, I'm always feeding them information. In the recycle world, I definitely, one of my things that I really want to step into that I really haven't tapped into yet is upcycling, because I am a fashion designer, so I definitely need to get more into that. I try to save everything. Like it's kind of getting to the point where like some things I need to let go, and I'm actually on this Wednesday actually getting ready to work with a nonprofit recycling company who's going to show me different avenues of how to get rid of things in different ways that they do. So it's like 5 different categories. So I'm educating myself to learn, like, okay, sometimes I'm ending up with more than I need right now, but what do you do with it? We don't want to just throw it in the trash. I can't sew it. And I'm learning that other nonprofit recycling companies want the merchandise because they are changing it into different textiles and things like that. So you don't just have to kind of get overwhelmed. So I would say the educational part, you know what I mean? Knowing one is selling it, but what are the other avenues of how we get rid of clothes? And I think in our community, we don't know that, but I'm going to learn more about that. So I'm definitely want to leave each and every person with my slogan, which I mentioned earlier, is Together We Win. And I really strongly believe in winning together. There's nothing that you can do on your own. We all need, whether it's just one person in your corner cheering you on, encouraging you, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like you want to quit. I know I'm an entrepreneur, and I consider myself the strong friend, you know what I mean? The one that's always cheering everybody on and telling them that you can do everything. But sometimes all the time, I need to be encouraged and I need to be empowered. So I want people to also break your pride. I think that we're very prideful as people. We're afraid to show people our vulnerable side. And I try to encourage people to be more vulnerable. Let people know, like, I need help, or it's something that I want to learn and I don't know how to do, but you seem like you're really good at it. Like, open yourself up and know that people want to help. I can't say that enough. Like, people really want to help and encourage you be great. So step into that and never forget, Together we win.